Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Hustling Noobs off-season preview. Today, we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets. Now, jump right into it. Cam Johnson, congratulations on the extension. 4-year, $94.5 million with a max potential of $108 million in the deal. Congratulations. This is a nice deal. I would have liked to see him in Detroit this offseason, but it is what it is. He's a solid fit on this Brooklyn team. He slides in perfectly at the 3 or the 4, depending on what you want to do with Dorian. And it's a fun team. I think this could be a really good defensive team, and a lot of that has to do with Cam Johnson at the 3 position. His offense also, is solid as an off-ball scorer. He's shown us some, on-ball creation or just, stuff on that end with the ball in his hands, and maybe he can do it consistently. I don't know, but obviously you've got Mikal as the guy who took that jump offensively, so you don't necessarily need it from Cam, but it would be nice to have a little jump and consistency from him, especially in games play. Now, you also signed Dennis Smith Jr., coming from Charlotte, where he posted some ridiculous defensive numbers over there, especially on the second half of the season, and also was solid offensively. You signed him to a 1-year, $2.53 million deal. Pretty solid. Like I said, defensively, he'll do really well on this team next to the other defenders. Then you've got Lonnie Walker. You also signed Lonnie Walker to a 1-year, $2.3 million deal, which is a lot less than I thought he would get. A lot less. After what he showed us offensively in playoffs, in the regular season, I thought, he would have earned himself a little bit more in the open market. But is what it is. You land in Brooklyn, which could be a solid fit behind Mikal, and hopefully, it works out for Lonnie. Now, you also in the draft went and drafted Noah Clowney and Dariq Whitehead. You gave a 2-way for Jalen Wilson, Noah Clowney out of Alabama, and Dariq Whitehead out of Duke. Noah Clowney will be a good switchable for this defensive team that already has some good, solid, lanky defenders, and, could be a potential, prototypical 4 to throw next to Nicholas Claxton, as he has flashed a little bit of 3-point shooting. Just a little bit. And then also Dariq Whitehead, who, honestly, after the injuries, is still a really solid player. Obviously, the bounce and a lot of the quick first step is gone, or at least minimized, but he's still a really solid player off-ball threat. And I can see him fitting in at the 3 position. Now, you also signed Darius Bazley to a 1-year, $2.1 million deal. Solid. You needed 4s, so this is a good pickup. Now, going into lineups, you've obviously got Spencer Dinwiddie starting at the 1, Kale at the 2, Cam at 3, Dorian at the 4, and Nick Claxton at the 5. This is an extremely highly switchable, well-rounded defensive lineup. I think, all guys can guard 1 through 4, with Claxton, being able to guard 3 through 5, and Dinwiddie being able to guard 1 through 3, and Mikal being able to guard 1 through 4. It's most 4s, depending on, the physicality. But this team has the potential to, go out there and make, a trade, a splash for some star, possibly with, Cam's contract and maybe a Dinwiddie if you need to, but I don't know, like a Cam and Ben Simmons contract and some youngins and some picks might be able to get you something. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what Brooklyn's direction is. To be honest, I do really like Mikal Bridges. I think he, projects to be one of, if not, the best 2-way 2-guard we have in this league. I think with his on-ball scoring chops, ball handling continuing to improve, his shooting continuing to improve, that right to left fader is absolutely dangerous. He learned a lot in Phoenix and has taken it to a whole nother level in Brooklyn with Brooklyn Bridges. And I'm all for building your team around Mikal Bridges with him as, one of your primary options. I just think he definitely would benefit from some extra scoring punch. And, Cam Thomas does a little bit of that. I realize now I didn't even necessarily go into the bench lineup yet, but Cam Thomas Davis off the bench, Lonnie Walker off the bench can help you do that. Royce O'Neal will continue with that defense. DSJ will continue with that defense. Darius Baisley will be, a good floor spacer and, attacker. And then you got Day'Ron Sharpe and Noah Clowney and Ben Simmons, to throw in your front court rotation. But like I said, or like I was saying, I don't really know what the direction for this team is. I think continuing to accrue assets and try to eventually make a big trade to land a star next to Mikal, that's probably the goal. But how that happens, what the avenue to that happening, I'm not sure. But this will be a fun team. And hopefully, they can make the playoffs again or get close and give us a little bit more of a run this off season, or this following off season, than they did against the Sixers. But we'll see y'all. Peace.